The road trip was good to the Athletics. 4 wins and 2 losses in Pittsburgh and Kansas City. And the Green and Gold feeling good as they return home still in first place as the All-Star break approaches. Tonight, the Boston Red Sox arrive in Oakland, boasting the best record in the American League. They were a bit overlooked when the season began. They have proved they can play with anyone here in 2013. Tonight, 2 of the top teams meet in what should be a great weekend of baseball here at the Coliseum. Game 1 of 3, A's Red Sox, next. A's are back home. Fans are happy about that, and we are looking forward to what should be a great weekend of baseball. All-Star Dustin Pedroia and the Boston Red Sox in town. Only time we'll see the Red Sox here in Oakland this year. And Jarrett Parker's going to try to cool down this very good Red Sox offense. It's the first of 3. 2 very good teams. It's the Red Sox and the A's. You'll see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Indeed, this should be a terrific weekend of baseball. 2 very good teams. And Ray, Jarrett Parker's going to start tonight. His last start, a no decision. The A's lost the game in Kansas City. But the good news is we found out he was not injured because remember what happened 2 starts ago with the hamstring.
Yeah, that's a great thing because hamstrings are so tough to come back from. And, of course, he injured it right here at the Coliseum against the Cardinals. And it was a scary moment because he grabbed his right hamstring, went down, tried to make a couple of pitches, ended up walking off the field after trying those couple of warm-up pitches. But the good news, he was able to come back a week later in Kansas City. The important thing I thought in this game that he threw his changeup early in the game and he got strikeouts and he pitched well, even though he did get the no decision.
Well, the Boston Red Sox are for real. They lead the major leagues in runs scored. Should we be surprised that it all revolves around David Ortiz?
And you can never say this man is through. He's 37, and you tell him he's finished, don't do that because he can do exactly what we're going to show here. The long ball. He can hit home runs. He has 19 on the season. He just continues to be the guy that the Red Sox hope to have at the plate when they want something good to happen. This is what he did up in Seattle. He's very capable of any park to hit home runs, but he also can go opposite field, and that's what he does on this ball to set the all-time record for most hits by a designated hitter. Opposite field at Safeco Field. He went for the double, but that's Big Papa. You put the shift on, he is willing to go to the opposite field. Of course, at that point, he does have the all-time record. He is a great player. He's a DH, and he's a true DH, and that's why he's so good.
So quite a turnaround in Boston. They love their Red Sox again. This team is playing terrific baseball, and one of the big turnarounds, John Lackey. Lackey's going to pitch tonight for the Red Sox. He has been very good so far. Remember, he missed all of last year. So Parker and Lackey is your pitching matchup. Josh Reddick seeing some old friends, and we are just about ready for baseball. Should be great. A's Red Sox coming up.
Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Go big at a Jack in the Box near you with Jack's new Big Stack Burger.
Home Run Derby. He's our guy. We're going to root for Yoenis Cespedes on Monday night. Yes, we are.
Just don't hurt yourself, yo.
Yoenis Jimenez, I like that. That's a good one. Green tops tonight for the A's as they take the field behind their starting pitcher, Jared Parker. And this is going to be a good weekend, folks. Two teams with the best records in the American League are set to square off in a 3-game set. So it's the A's and the Red Sox. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. Nice night, 64 degrees. And indeed, cool and clear. And this is just the way we like it. So we call it Coliseum night game weather.
Beautiful.
It is very nice. So, Red Sox in town. They're going to wear their dark tops tonight, dark blue. And let's look at their lineup. The familiar names and some new names as well. Ellsbury at the top, terrific year. Victorino in right. Pedroia and Ortiz, both all-stars. Napoli, Nava, Saltalamacchia, Jose Iglesias. Look at his batting average, .387. And Brock Holt is the young switch hitting third baseman.
And in his right-hander, Jared Parker on the mound for the Athletics. And, of course, we detailed his last start against Kansas City, a no decision. But all he has to do is look at the numbers against the Red Sox. 2 starts, 2-0, 13 in the third innings, 10 hits, 2 runs. And as Jerry Remy on the Red Sox said, this guy's pitched well against the Red Sox. Let's hope it continues tonight, the first game of the series, as he has that specialty changeup along with a fastball and a breaking pitch. So he can use them all, and it's good club to use them against.
Defense for the A's tonight. Cespedes, Crisp, and Reddick in the outfield. Donaldson, Lowry, Sogard, Moss on the infield, and John Jaso is the catcher. So the A's will look up, check out the out-of-town scoreboard, Ray, and they will see that the Texas Rangers have already lost. The Tigers beat the Rangers tonight 7-2 in Detroit. So the A's with that Rangers loss, a 1.5 lead in the AL West.
You know, Bob Melvin, I think it's interesting on this beautiful Friday night that he's sporting a jacket. And you think back to the last 6 games, Pittsburgh and Kansas City, no jacket. And prior to that, the homestand here against the Reds, the Cardinals, and the Cubs. As hot as it was, nobody was wearing a jacket. And so we can see that the cooler weather has come into town, and it's nice that Red Sox get to enjoy it, as well as the A's who enjoy it all the time here at the Coliseum.
So Jacoby Ellsbury steps in. Parker is ready to go. So the Red Sox and the A's. Red Sox 57-37. A's 54-38. 2 best records in the American League. So the first pitch of the ball game with the corner infielders in is a strike.
First pitch, 7:09.
C.B. Buckner calling balls and strikes. Adam Hamari is the umpire at first base. We have not seen that name before, Ray. So called up from the minor leagues, which happens occasionally.
Eddie Montague, of course, long-time umpire. Eddie said that this guy is great. He said your brother and Krupp, he umpired behind the plate in San Francisco with the 16-inning game. He was behind the plate. It said called a lot of strikes. He said your brother and Krupp, all they could do was talk about how great this guy was. Right. So we'll see him firsthand tomorrow night.
And on 3 pitches, Ellsbury strikes out, and that is out number 1 here in the first inning.
Fastball down the middle, fastball elevated a little bit. C.B. Buckner liked it, and then he pulled the string of the changeup. And something that Parker did against Kansas City, and he talks about everything off his fastball. Well, he threw more changeups early, and if he throws this kind of a changeup any time in a game, he's going to have those kind of swings. And hitters will see what looks like a fastball and just floats in as a changeup.
That one driven to center by Victorino, but plenty of room for Coco Crisp. He's got it, and that's out number 2. Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort.
You know, so Victorino did probably what hitters would do if they think the changeup is the put-away pitch for Jared Parker. They'll swing early if they think they're going to get a fastball. And Victorino did, flew out to center field. But I think they also recognize that the changeup is very effective, and he's already shown it.
So 2 quick outs, and here's Dustin Pedroia. First pitch is a strike. Nothing but strikes so far from Jared Parker. Very fine season for Pedroia. Strike 2, outside corner.
Outside corner, and he nailed it perfectly. And Pedroia has the open and aggressive stance, and he is loading up quickly to put everything behind the swing.
Pedroia fouls that one straight back. Hit in the hole and into left field. So an 0-2 pitch, Pedroia got to reach for it, and he slaps a single into left.
Well, we talked about before, you shake off a lot, usually going off speed. Shook off 3 times to get the changeup and pull the string.
Number 34.
And Pedroia, you know, just a very good 2-strike hitter. It's a leg kick, gets the leg with the foot down, but the changeup left up, and that's the difference in the location. Donaldson, a very good effort, but no chance.
So here's Ortiz. Both Pedroia and Ortiz are all-stars this year. No surprise there. 19 home runs, 65 RBIs for David Ortiz. And the first pitch is outside. Ortiz, a .327 batting average. That's second best in the American League. The RBIs, 6th most in the American League.
I think the most surprising thing, Kite, as you look out, there is not an exaggerated shift for David Ortiz.
Really, right.
With Jed Lowry really just playing the pull, but Sogard in the outfield. Poppy has lost about 25 pounds, does not run especially fast, but normally you'd see 3 guys the right side. And he would shoot the balls to left field, as he showed in the double and submitted the spray chart showing a different approach by David Ortiz, and as a result the defense is playing him differently.
Two 2-0 the count to Ortiz. Taking all the way, and it runs off the plate. 3-0. Mike Napoli waits in the on-deck circle. Swinging on 3-0, and he rips one towards center. Coco's back there. He's got it side retired. So a hit and a runner left in the top of the first. Bottom of the first coming up. Donaldson, Lowry, Cespedes, Moss, Reddick, Smith, and Sogard.
18-game winner against the Athletics over his career. John Lackey, 6-6 on this season, is on the mound in the first game of the series for the Red Sox. Cap, I think, said it best, missed last year, but look how much weight he has lost. And he says he thinks this is his best first half in his major league career. That doesn't bode well for anybody facing him, but he is 6-6. He has 4 pitches, 2 and 4 seam fastball, curve, slider, changeup, and he will use all of his pitches anytime.
Red Sox defense has Nava, Ellsbury, Victorino in the outfield, so very good outfield. Holt, Iglesias, Pedroia, and Napoli on the infield. Saltalamacchia is the catcher. So here's Coco. Holt comes in on the grass. Lackey's first pitch is a bit inside. 267 with 9 homers, 34 RBIs for Coco Crisp. He was 4 for 12 in that 3-game series in Pittsburgh. And that one hit up the middle. Pedroia ranging far to his right, flips to first. And that's out number 1. So Coco's retired. That'll bring up John Jason.
In the second position.
Well, Ray, we talked about Lackey on the road trip because his last start was a nationally televised game on Sunday night, and we both looked at each other and said, wow, we haven't seen Lackey throw like that in a while. He looked very good. He lost the game. That was against the Angels. But I was very impressed with him. He had good velocity.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. And, you know, when you have major surgery, sometimes it does take a while to come back. And his manager, former pitching coach, John Farrell, talked about the difference in watching Lackey using all of his pitches, a little extra on his fastball.
That one is foul. Lackey missed all of last year with Tommy John. Remember his first couple of years with the Red Sox, he just didn't look right.
Exactly.
He wasn't throwing nearly as hard. Now, he looks more like the guy he was when he was with the Angels.
But noticeably thinner. And I asked David Ortiz how much weight he had lost. He said 25 pounds, and he looks it. And Lackey is the same.
There's that start. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, but the Red Sox were shut out. 0-2 pitch to Jaso.
Jared Weaver, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Sunday night. Lackey against his former team, the Angels, of course, signed a long-term contract as a free agent with the Red Sox from one coast to the other.
Swing and a miss. 94 miles an hour, and that's 2 outs here in the first.
Just sneaky fastball, and it's a 4-seam. Well, that's a pretty good pitch with 2 strikes on the hitter. You throw off speed, he has a chance to do something with it, but for the fastball, nothing. Right by Jaso, who has moved up the batting order. Of course, the National League down in the order, a little different when the pitcher hitting. Seth Smith, I've never seen a bigger smile on a guy's face in my life. It's kind of the odd man out with the National League park. Pittsburgh, especially, where he only pinched hit. So back as a DH tonight.
0-1 to Donaldson, 313, 15 homers, 58 RBIs. 9th best batting average in the American League for Donaldson. Took a rip at this one.
Does not get cheated.
Pitch from Lackey. Just missed outside. This is the 4th year of that 5-year contract that Lackey signed with the Red Sox. He's the 11th year overall in the big leagues. If you're the Red Sox, you got to be thrilled with what Lackey's done this year. Yeah. 5th best ERA in the American League.
Number 41 that he wore all those years with the Angels. John Farrell, first year managing the Red Sox after a couple of years in Toronto. what a difference a season makes for the Red Sox from last year to this year. And really, it's the man leading the show. That is the manager, John Farrell. Brian Butterfield, brought over from Toronto. Third base coach. Torey Lavello, former athletics and bench coach. So a good staff, but John Farrell is the manager, and he's a good one.
Well, I think it would be hard to pinpoint when an organization hits rock bottom, but
they did it last year.
I think the Red Sox would say, you know what, 2012
Yeah.
was rock bottom. They were 69-93, and of course they had that monstrous trade with the Dodgers, which may turn out to be a good thing when it's all said and done.
And that's the amazing thing. They unloaded a boatload of players and money and got better. And probably got better because of their free agent signings. Players coming back like Lackey, who's healthy. John Lester, the A's will see. Dubron's, of course, pitched well. And Vito Bailey, Craig Breslow, a couple of former athletics. But I have to say, John Farrell, they traded a player for John Farrell, and that's rare. That's how badly the Red Sox wanted him. And Farrell is a pitching coach for the Red Sox, and now he's their manager.
Toward right field, Victorino's there, side retired. So Lackey has a 3-up, 3-down inning. No score after one from the Coliseum. May 1st of last year, Jared Parker got his first major league win. It was against the Red Sox at Fenway Park. And one he'll always remember. She'd do it in a ballpark like that. Gave up just 4 hits and 1 run. And that's the first W for Parker. Second inning goes back to work. Gave up a 2-out hit to Pedroia in the first. Napoli. He'll be followed by Nava and Saltalamacchia. .254 for Napoli with 11 home runs and 58 runs batted in.
Look back to last inning with David Ortiz. He took the 2-0 fastball. It ended up being ball 3, but he took it in the way he took it. You think he's not swinging 3-0, but he did. So Jared Parker made a good pitch to him, and now another tough right-handed batter with a lot of power and aggressiveness, and that is Mike Napoli.
That one hit hard. Donaldson backhands it, rolls away. He picks it up, throws, and it gets past Moss. And Napoli's going to dig for second, and he'll make it. So Donaldson had it roll away, and then he really had to scramble after it and quickly throw.
Well, he had more time than he thought, but you just don't know it whenever you pick the ball up, especially in foul territory where it rolled. But he has a very strong arm, though, this time. Brandon Moss could not come up with it cleanly. And down on the foul territory, Napoli was able to make it to second easily. So we'll get a single and then an E5.
That's correct. For Donaldson, his 8th error of the year, and a runner at second and nobody out for Daniel Nava, the switch hitter. First pitch is high.
Brandon Moss, the throw out in front of him and just couldn't find his glove. You say, well, why didn't he come off the bag? Because basically if he catches it, he's out. It's a tremendous play, but he didn't, and the foul territory is going to be at second.
Daniel Nava getting a chance to play every day, and he's producing .293 with 10 home runs, 52 runs batted in. Switch hitter. And that hit something.
His helmet.
I don't know if it
somebody's
hit,
helmet.
It hit the hitter and it hit C.B. Bucknor. The noise you heard was it hitting, must have been the mask of C.B. Bucknor, and Nick Pepperista runs out there immediately. So all the umpires will come in and check on their guy here.
To be honest, I thought he hit Nava first. I mean, or in the helmet. Unfortunately, it maybe deflected off Nava, and then what you did here was the helmet or the mask of C.B. Bucknor. And he's wearing the hockey-style mask, which so we'll see. Maybe Nava sold it. See if it hits Nava. He gets out of the way. Did it hit his bat? Bat was straight up. Back it up and slow down. Watch the bat as it stays up. Nava goes down. Missed him completely. Hit the bat. Hit his bat and then off Bucknor. And Nava decided to go to first, but actually should have been a foul ball. But it looks like C.B. Bucknor is going to have to. Wow. Hope he's okay.
So Nick's going to take him out, and we'll see what happens here in the next couple minutes. Let's watch closely.
Nava goes down to avoid, but
right, it hits something because the ball diverted a little bit. Now, did it hit like the upper back of Nava
or his bat?
Or his bat, but it clearly went in a different direction right when it got near.
That's what he's pointing the umpire, that it hit his shoulder. If it did, it was very close to the bat. Got him in the back? Or
watch here. Watch where the bat is. Yeah, see, it hit him in the back.
Yeah.
That time you could tell.
At that time it did, yeah. The other one, it looked like it hit the bat, but it did deflect off his shoulder and miss the bat.
But it's strange to see the ball move in a different direction like that.
Well, Jared Parker needs to be throwing because the umpires are changing gear, and that's going to take a little while because
Ed Montague's down there. Eddie could throw his uniform on. He's sitting just to our left.
Well, it looks like Bill Miller's going to go behind the plate because Bill Miller is not there, and unless he just went in to check. But if they're changing, and like I said, you have the inside chest protector, shin guards, and while that is happening, Jared Parker should be throwing. Because really, when the umpire comes out, they're going to resume play. And an umpire, when he came in, as he was checking on C.B. Bucknor, reached down and got a ball out of Buckner's bag that holds the baseballs and threw it to John Jaso and Jared Parker, and now he's going to start throwing.
great prizes, including a $500 watch. A chance to go down on the field with Ronnie Heller for a future game. Barron's on Legacy.
So we're down a couple umpires right now.
You know,
but you're right, it does take a while to put all that gear on.
And correct me if I'm wrong, when the Angels were in town last year, Zach Greinke was pitching. Bill Miller was behind the plate, and he got a couple of shots.
Got a little woozy, yeah.
And I think he came out, of course. Bill, one of the favorites from the area.
All right, well, we'll take a break. When we come back, the Red Sox with 2 on and nobody out here in top of the second inning. We hope C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire, is okay. We'll be back right after this.
Presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Look like a Gold Glove winner with your very own Josh Reddick jersey. Tomorrow, 10,000 fans will receive a Josh Reddick green replica jersey presented by Cache Creek Casino Resort when the A's host these Boston Red Sox. For more information and tickets, call 877-493-BALL or visit oaklandathletics.com/tickets. That is tomorrow. Should see some lines out around the Coliseum when the gates open or when the parking lot opens to get ready to get. Just maybe you could get a beer to go along with it.
This is the delay if you're just joining us. Watch the baseball.
Well, got a wave
in the back, and then
it did hit him right above the number 2, and then deflected and hit C.B. Buckner in his mask. And
yeah, it looked like Ray. It looked like it just hit him kind of on the side a little bit of the mask. But umpires, pretty tough guys, so for him to come out, he must not be feeling all that great. So again, let's hope C.B. Buckner is okay.
Well, Matt Weiss,
there's Matty checking it out, giving his guys an update. There's Matt Weiss in charge of the umpires, and he gave us the
2-minute warning.
2-minute warning. So, and if Matt says it's 2 minutes, then it's 2 minutes. So Adam Hamari and Todd Tishner, those are the 2 other umpires right there.
And I think back to many years ago when the American League umpires used the balloon chest protector. And so if there was ever a need to change umpires midstream, mid-game, put on the shin guards and get the balloon. Let's go.
Hand them the balloon, right?
Because there was no inside chest protector. So essentially, you have to take off your shirt, put on the inside chest protector, put your shin guards on, and get fully protected, as you will see when Bill Miller comes out. We're assuming that it's going to be Bill Miller who went inside with C.B. Buckner.
There's our good friend. He's a good man. So he's probably a little concerned about one of his umpires. We all are.
Eddie, a supervisor, of course, a great umpire in his umpiring days, and once he retired, became a supervisor, lives in the area, so he gets to go back and forth between San Francisco and here. It is so rare when an umpire has to leave a game. Very rare. And very happy that that is the case. And it's unfortunate that C.B. Bucknor had it happen to him tonight. But unfortunately, when it does happen, and especially the home plate umpire, it does take time.
So there is Bill Miller. So he is redressed and ready to go.
Does he get 8 warm-up tosses?
So you know the first pitch is it can be like right on the black, strike, ball, questionable call.
But you think about it. You saw Eddie Montague, but these 4 umpires and this crowd tonight, it's a good crowd, and except for the passes they leave, the umpires are on their own, and you have to give them a lot of credit because they travel and they have to. I've never seen an umpiring crew stay for back-to-back series, so they're always on the move, and now they have to work on 3-man umpiring crews. So the third base umpire goes behind the mound. Home plate umpire Bill Miller now, who was at second, behind the plate now, but until tomorrow they will work with 3 umpires tonight, and they'll bring somebody in for tomorrow.
So here is Saltalamacchia, and the first pitch to him is grounded hard but foul. So Napoli started it with a single and then a throwing error by Donaldson on the same play. So that's how he got to second. Nava hit by the pitch. Saltalamacchia, 8 home runs, 37 RBIs. He is a switch hitter as well. Change up. Call the strike, 0-2.
You know, that right there, I mean, you have a different strike zone. C.B. Bucknor, I mean, no umpire has the same strike zone. So there's the high changeup, called a strike. Another one of the good ones, and both behind the plate and on the bases.
First pitch.
Back door. It's out there exactly where Jaso had put his mitt, but it's not called a strike.
So 2-2 now. Jose Iglesias, a right-handed hitter, waits in the on-deck circle. Foul back. Napoli does not run real well. He's the runner at second base. That one's driven to left center. Cespedes over. Tagging up is Napoli. He's going to try for third. Here comes the throw, and it scoots past Donaldson, but a heads-up play by Jared Parker. Wow.
Well, the throw was on the line. Looked like it was going to be an out, but Josh Donaldson reached for the ball and missed it. Maybe tried to make too quick of a tag, and I guess in hindsight, the throw to second would have kept the double play in order. But if this throw is there, and it was, but the short hop, and Napoli taking a chance. Strong throw by Cespedes, but the short hop to Donaldson, he could not come up with it. But a pitcher's job is basically to do what Jared Parker did. Diving for the ball, you don't want to see that happen, but if he does not stop the ball, it goes in the dugout, a run scores. And that is what a pitcher's supposed to back up home, back up third. If the throw is to third, he did it perfectly, and at this point has saved at least a run.
So Nava moves up. And here's Iglesias. And the first pitch is a strike. Corner infielders in, middle infielders back.
You know, one thing about Cespedes' throw to third, it's an aggressive throw, but with both runners tagging, if the throw goes to second, it's 1 out, first and third, double play possibility. Throw goes to third if you don't get it, and a better throw probably does get it. But it's just one of those that if you make the throw to third, you'd like to be almost 100% that you're going to get the out. Otherwise, you're going to put both runners in scoring position. Josh Donaldson, as a former catcher, knows those short hops, whether third or behind the plate. Those are tough to come up with. He had to try to make the play, catch the ball, make the tag. Strikeout. Huge.
0-2 pitch, reached for. Remember, Iglesias playing shortstop. Stephen Drew's on the disabled list.
Yeah.
And Iglesias has filled in at short. He's played third, and he's hitting .387. This is his 50th game.
But if a pitcher has not seen the changeup of Jarrett Parker, we're trying to get a strikeout. Pull the string, get the ball down, and where he might flail at it and get the strikeout. Still in the breaking pitch that he fouled back.
Missed outside, 1-2.
That was a 93 fastball. Maybe is showing him hard stuff to eventually pull the string.
Nice block by Jaso.
Pulled the string.
Yes, he did.
Pulled the string way too soon. It's a great block, and as a catcher, just saying, please, just hit my body somewhere. Keep it close so a runner can't score. And it about so far out in front of the plate, hit the midsection of Jaso.
Fastball runs well inside, and the count is 4. On deck is Brock Holt, another switch hitter.
Well, just kept running in. No chance for it to be a ground ball to third or even a strikeout.
Three-two pitch, and that was a changeup, but it was up, and Iglesias fouled it back. That's Holt in the on-deck circle. Another 3-2 pitch. Driven to right field. Reddick's there. Napoli hustles back. He's going to come home, and now he stops. And he's going to have to hustle back, and he does, diving back. Napoli went, I would say, almost halfway to home plate.
And if Jaso had come up and thrown to third, immediately it would have been a double play. But he might have been as shocked as anybody that Napoli took off and was coming. Surprised that he was. Change up, which is a good pitch to the opposite field. And Reddick, that gold glove arm. And Napoli, you're right. He got down, and of course he went back. Maybe Jaso was smart not to throw. Might have hit him. But Josh Reddick said, let's see, I played for the Red Sox. I can throw. And he did.
Here's Brock Holt, the young third baseman. Swing and a miss on a changeup.
Yeah, I strongly believe that you have players who have not seen Jared Parker, and they see something, and it looks like a fastball coming out of his hand, and that's why his best changeup is in the dirt or down so low that hitters see it, and the ball just keeps sinking. And it's a very, very tough pitch to try to hit. If it's elevated, it's much easier.
That's hot. 2-1. The Red Sox thought they had their third base problem solved with Will Middlebrooks, big power hitting third baseman. But Middlebrooks struggled this year, and he's in the minor leagues.
It's amazing.
Remember when the A's were in Boston earlier this year, Middlebrooks hit a 3-run homer, I think, in one of those games, but he just struggled some, and now he's in the minor leagues. Foul left side.
Yeah, we actually saw him when he came to the big leagues for the first time. He had
last year.
Yeah, very good game, his debut against the Athletics, and they traded Youth, the Chicago White Sox, and Middlebrooks had the job, and a lot of changes. But this young man just swung a change up in the dirt.
Pitch is lined to left, and that's a base hit. Napoli scores. They're waving Nava home. Throw to the plate is offline. Heading to second is Holt. Scoots by Holt, and he's going to get up, and he's going to head to third, and he's going to be in there. Ugly sequence all around, and the Red Sox lead 2-0. So Holt comes through with the 2-run single, and he ends up at third base.
And he threw him a 3-2 fastball. Outside part of the plate. He went with it perfectly. A throw way offline by Cespedes. And Jaso got it. And by the time he threw it to second, off the glove of Sogard, Holt was clapping for himself. By the time he finished clapping, he had to get up and head to center field, or to third base with the ball going into center field.
Here's the top of the order in Ellsbury, who takes a strike.
And you know, that could have been a 3-2 fastball to Holt. First base was open, but because Ellsbury in the on-deck circle, maybe it was rather challenge the ninth place hitter and not take a chance with Ellsbury, but really with Holt working the count to 3-2, got the fastball, went opposite field, was perfect for him.
Ellsbury struck out on 3 pitches in the first inning. So it's a single, a couple of RBIs, and an E2. 2-base error on Jasos, or just a 1-base error, I should say, on Jaso. He went to second on the throw, to third on the throw. So 2 errors in the inning by the Athletics. Good pitch with a fastball inside corner.
Yeah, with everything happening with C.B. Buckner, forgot about the base hit that started the inning with Napoli's hard shot to Donaldson, and then the ball getting past BOS for an E5 after a base hit.
Ellsbury watches that one. Ellsbury healthy this year, and he is having a very fine season. Last year he played in just 74 games. On the ground, Sogard has it. Side retired. So 2 runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors by the A's. So Red Sox lead 2-0. 100% California is brought to you by The Smurfs 2 in theaters July 31st. Beautiful night at the BOS AT OAK Coliseum. Red Sox with an early 2-0 lead. A couple of errors by the A's. That's something we do not see a lot of in the same inning. So Lowry, Cespedes, and Moss against Lackey, who had a 3-up, 3-down first inning. Great, we just got a press release sent out by the Boston Red Sox. And it says that the Red Sox have just acquired Matt Thornton, the left-handed reliever from the Chicago White Sox. So that's a significant acquisition. Thornton, a pretty good left-handed reliever.
And a significant unload by the White Sox, who are projected to be the team to start trading some players.
So you're saying it won't be the first White Sox trade?
I don't think. This is just July the 12th.
Right.
I think it's just the beginning. Sometimes clubs decide they're not going to be in the race prior to the deadline, which is July 31st, and they don't want to wait till then.
It was a minor league outfielder by the name of Brandon Jacobs that was traded for Matt Thornton. And good fastball there, and that's strikeout number 2 for Lackey.
Well, just a fastball, and Lackey shook a couple of times with Saltalamacchia and ended up going with a high fastball away from Lowry.
So here's Cespedes. You know, Matt Thornton is a good reliever, but he always seemed to struggle against the A's.
Yeah. So he won't show up till Monday, right?
He always seemed to give up a big hit against the Athletics. But the Red Sox have been looking for some bullpen help, and well, they got it. Want to know to Cespedes hitting .221, 15 homers, 42 RBIs.
Well, with a pitcher who is doing as well as Lackey has been so far this first half of the season for the Red Sox, you do not want to spot him a couple of runs. That's what the A's did in the top of the inning.
Moss in the on-deck circle.
I think that Lackey has been doing also, showed the 7 innings in last start against the Angels, lost 2-0, but he has been going at least 7, big time, pretty consistently.
His last 5 starts, 7, 7, 7, 8, 7. Yeah. As far as innings pitched go, so there's your point. One and 2 to Cespedes. Try to hold up. Did he? Yes.
Nobody on base. The umpires have gone back to 1 at first, 1 at third, and of course when somebody gets on base, that's when the third base umpire will move over. Cespedes, very, very strong wrist to be able to stop the swing.
And the umpires aren't just winging it out there. They know exactly where to go when it's a 3-man crew.
Up until recently, and I don't know when it really started, but that's the numbers for Lackey against the Athletics. 18 wins, 291 earned run average. But at one time in spring training, you never had more than 3 umpires, so they were always working on what you do with just 3, and rare for it to happen during the regular season.
Cespedes lays off, and the A's have their first base runner with a 1-out walk here in the second.
Didn't want to challenge him. He's shaking his head, thinking that, you could see if he lips, he was a little upset with himself. And really tried a hitter in Cespedes, who a couple of times started his swing was strong enough to hold up, and that time not even close to the ball bouncing in the dirt. So a very, very good at bat by the always aggressive Yoenis Cespedes. Chili Davis, talking to him, he's been doing a lot of work with Cespedes, especially with his pitch selection and swing and aggressiveness. Just think if or when Cespedes gets hot and a couple of the other players get hot, Because the A's offense really has not been what you'd like to see.
About that shift, right? That one driven left center. Ellsbury is going to get there, and he makes the catch right near the warning track. So that's out number 2 here in the second inning.
You would think with 3 infielders to the right side, third baseman almost at second, and Brandon Moss, what does he do? Shoots the ball to left center. The outfield playing him straight up, and Ellsbury, excellent speed anyway, able to get to it without a problem. A former Red Sox, Brandon Moss. In Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and fortunately now with the A's.
The former Red Sox, Reddick, steps in.
Wow, what a shift they've got.
Another
Reddick.
shift, yeah.
Pedroia, I looked up and I thought Pedroia was a normal second base position, but that's Iglesias. Look where Pedroia is, way out here. And look how close he is to the line. I mean, that's unbelievable.
Runner goes. Throw to second base is light, and heads up by Holdis.
Yeah.
He's thinking Cespedes may just jump up and try for third.
Johnny Damon did that in the World Series, playing for the Yankees. And he stole second. Nobody was at third, but you're right about Holt taking and then running. And that's the umpire at second base. So what are you doing? And then that's Iglesias, actually.
That was Iglesias.
Yeah, Iglesias. And so I guess they moved the third baseman, Holt, over, kept Iglesias at the position.
And now the shift is gone.
Yeah. That is amazing.
And they're playing, pretty normal for a left-handed hitter. One and 2.
We have seen over time, we're seeing tonight, John Lackey calls his own game.
Yes, he does.
And especially with a runner at second, Salto Maki has got to go through a number of signs. But Lackey has in his mind what he wants to throw. How about a quick pitch? Remember a game in 2006, Jeff Mathis caught.
They were not getting along.
I think he ended up going 5 innings, 5+. And it was just almost every pitch. It was a shake, and they always went to the curveball, and the A's kept taking it.
Reddick fouls it back. Yeah, we were convinced that at some point Lackey and Mathis were going to go wrestle into the clubhouse and get it straightened out there.
I think Mathis was a rookie too. So
he was.
Okay.
He was.
He should have just said, you call your own game. You add and subtract, and just throw whatever you want. I'll catch it. Lackey throws too many pitches to be able to just allow him to throw anything without knowing what's coming.
Cespedes runs, and the pitch is low, so it'll be another stolen base for Cespedes.
And they were going to let him steal anyway because the third baseman Holt was playing way back, and John Farrell decided to have his infield hold the position, and nice job taking the pitch that was down out of the strike zone. Cespedes a big jump, and seems like things like that happen with 2 outs. The guy steals third. You hope for a wild pitch or an error or something to happen to allow him to steal. Better yet, a base hit from Reddick.
3-2 pitch is high up. A couple of walks in the inning. And now Seth Smith is going to hit.
Batting in the 8th position, designated hitter, number 15, Seth Smith.
So here is Smith. 271, 6 homers, 32 RBIs, looking for a 2-out hit. Strikeout, a walk, fly ball to center, and another walk, couple of stolen bases.
Now there's nobody at second base. It would be just one sign now. But Lackey stepped off anyway.
by Saltalamacchia. So Lackey just breezed through the first inning. Pinpoint control, not the case here.
A good block by Saltalamacchia. Saw the top of the inning. John Jaso blocked a couple before the hit by Hope.
And that one misses, and it's 2-0.
Now, for pitcher and catcher can't get on the same page, you can see frustration start to build a little bit, and maybe the quality of the pitches.
But I mean, see what I find a little strange, Ray. I mean, these two guys have worked together for 3 years, right? Saltalamacchia's been here for a while. Lackey's been here for a while. This is his 16th start this year.
Something we don't see much, if any, more, and that is the add subtract. Where a pitcher, I mean, this is a great case. We've seen John Lackey is an excellent pitcher, but if he wants to call or throw certain pitches, wipe the uniform top to add, pant legs to subtract, and go right to the pitch he wants to throw.
Line drive, just foul.
Because what happens when a pitcher does that, he gets in a better rhythm. So he's just wants to throw a fastball, and the catcher has to go through 3 times before it gets there. You could just say, here, let's go. Seth Smith came very close to tying the game. Well, just foul.
So 2-1 to Smith. Right side, Napoli has it, and the side is retired. So Lackey works hard, but he gets out of the jam. A's strand a pair. 3rd inning coming up. It's the Red Sox 2 and the A's nothing.
Day after tomorrow, 10,000 fans will receive an MLB Network drawstring backpack presented by MLB Network when the A's play the Red Sox. For more information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets.
Two 2-0. The Red Sox lead the A's here in the 3rd, as it'll be Victorino, Pedroia, and Ortiz. Victorino hit a fly ball to center field on the first pitch he saw from Parker in the 1st inning. He waves at a good changeup. Setting up inside, and the pitch is inside. 1-2. Jared Parker has not lost a game since the 22nd of May. He stretched that out a little further. The last 11 starts, just one loss, 5-1 with a 2.48 ERA. Remember early on, Ray, I think we were all a little concerned about Parker. He just did not look quite right. Believe it or not, Bill Miller, the home plate umpire, our second home plate umpire, he just got hit and he's going to get checked on.
Okay, up underneath and pitch in the dirt. There were 2 strikes. Jaso tried to block, but hit his shin guard and bounced underneath his glove and underneath the mask of, and you see the stench on the mask of Bill Miller's. Eddie Monty, you might have to assist.
We were just teasing before. Cespedes comes in, and he's got it. So Victorino, a couple of pop outs.
Now batting, number 15, Dustin
Victorino's
Pedroia.
former team, the Philadelphia Phillies, might be doing something by the trading deadline.
Yeah.
They're kind of in the predicament of not knowing whether to be buyers or sellers. I think they're going to be buyers. I think the Phillies and their fans, they will try to stay as long as they can. Be competitive.
Yeah, they're playing better lately.
Yep. The offseason signings by the Red Sox, Victorino.
Good pitch there, right on the outside corner.
Well, same thing happened in the first at bat to this right-hander. And from a changeup, got a base hit. That was the first inning, 0-2. On the outside corner with the fastball.
Way up and in, 2-2 to Pedroia. Donaldson ranges in front of Lowry, and they just get Pedroia on a very close play.
Now you might wonder why would Donaldson range so far in front of Lowry, but that's the momentum factor. And third baseman cutting in front of the slow hit ball. He has his momentum going towards third, and it took a very strong throw to be able to get the speedy Pedroia. So Lowry would have taken it and thrown on the run. Donaldson can utilize his strong arm, and that's how close the play was. And not surprised to see Pedroia hustling, running, plays the game where you like to see every player.
Yes, he
plays hard all the time.
Ortiz steps in. Fly ball to center field in the first. Ooh, a big rip by Ortiz, fouls it straight back.
That's a big one, and the A's all of a sudden shift. So it's going back and forth, I guess, depending on the situations. Had a runner at first.
A shot right to the right fielder, Reddick. He's there. Side retired. So 3 up, 2 down inning for Parker. Bottom of the third coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen.
A's in 30 days. Get a behind-the-scenes look at your favorite athletics on and off the field. Also find out how Josh Reddick has embraced becoming a team leader and why Coco Crisp never pursued a career in professional bowling. That's right. 30 A's in 30 days only on CSNCalifornia.com, your interactive home for Bay Area sports. Sogard to lead it off in the bottom of the third inning. First pitch, sinking fastball for a strike.
That last inning, all it did was help the A's got the pitch count up. John Lange threw 22 pitches in the inning after just 14 in the first. So it's amazing what a couple of walks can do. 3 hitters already have gone to full count 3-2. So the A's continue to work a very good pitcher, and we'll see how that helps with regard to the length of the game in which Lackey is in.
Well, we joked in A's pregame live that you may see more 3-2 counts in this game than any game we watched this year. But we were sort of being serious as well. I mean, both these teams work the count. Not afraid to take pitches, foul pitches off.
Red Sox, Iglesias and Holt in the second inning. Both had 3-2. David Ortiz 3-0 in his first at bat. 3 for the A's the first 2 innings. So you're right. Wasn't a joke, man. You're right on.
It really wasn't a joke. Serious humor? Is that what it was?
Well, we always talk about the Yankees and the Red Sox in those games. I mean, they take pitches.
Yeah.
And games are 4 hours long, but take a team anytime that's going to swing at strikes, foul off tough pitches, try to keep the bat at live, and that's what Sogard's doing so far in this at bat. 0-2, and now he's fouled off 3.
This one is going to just roll foul. Napoli tried to get it before it rolled foul. He just could not quite do it.
See a home plate umpire, Bill Miller, make the call also. We talk about the ball in front of the bag before it reaches the bag, home plate umpire, but really it's whoever can see it the best. But Miller, the home plate umpire, could see as the ball was trickling, hit the grass, and then it's not where he catches it or where his body is, but where the ball is and where he caught it. It wasn't foul territory. Good call by the veteran home plate umpire who started the game at second.
So another 0-2 pitch. And that one's hit hard, but Pedroia goes down to the knee, and that's out in the air. The Mariners have a 3-0 lead over the Angels in the 4th inning. That is up in Seattle. Jerome Williams and Joe Saunders, the pitching matchup there, and Mariners have hit a couple of home runs. Now, I'm going to tell you who hit the first one, Kyle Seager, and I'm going to let you guess who hit the next one.
Raul Ibanez.
Thank you. 23 home runs for Raul Ibanez.
Love it.
Man, oh man.
Couldn't be happier for one of the nicest guys in the game. Raul Ibanez.
So, you know, you're thinking, well, he hit a lot of home runs with the Yankees. They have a short porch in right field, so he goes to a much bigger ballpark, and 23 for Ibanez. So 3-0. Texas lost. They are in Detroit, so that's a big series. 7-2. Tigers beat the Rangers tonight. For those Angels, they're 44-46, so 2 games under 500. Go. One around.
A week from tonight, the A's will be in Anaheim to resume the second half of the season. That's where it stands.
And that's updated with the Rangers loss tonight.
Lead the Mariners, and just like you said, their plan, I said 20 consecutive games, they've had at least 1 home run, and yet they're 12 games under 500.
Yep. It seems like they're those teams where when they get good pitching, they don't hit, and when they do hit, they don't get a well-pitched game. 2-1 to Crisp, who grounded out to Pedroia in the first inning. A 54-38 record for the Athletics is the second best in the American League and fourth best in the major leagues. Terrific home record of 28-14.
And a very good crowd to start this weekend series. 27 something. 27,084 announced attendance.
Coco's gone, and that's the third strikeout for Lackey.
And not surprising, just a fastball. It challenged him with a fastball, and
Number 5, John.
to a fastball by Lowry. Jay still got a fastball, so when Lackey gets a couple of strikes, with the exception of Cespedes, who had a count of 3-1, 3-2, and then kept throwing him the breaking pitches that he took.
Jaso struck out in the first. In the dirt. We're right at 50 pitches for Lackey, so with 2 outs in the third inning, the A's do not have a hit, but Lackey has thrown a lot of pitches. Broken bat grounder. Pedroia has it. And that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Lackey. So we're headed to the fourth at the Coliseum. 2-0 Boston.
Okay, fans, your
Never stop improving, and it has to do with Bay Area native Daniel Nava. We said he's a regular now, and lately, last 15 games, a .373 batting average, but look at the goods on Nava. He was born in Redwood City. He went to St. Francis High School in Mountain View. He went to college at San Mateo, and then he went to Santa Clara. So he's back home. Friends and family. Long ticket list.
Talk about all the great home runs that David Ortiz has hit, but none bigger than Daniel Nava on the Saturday game after they resumed play. Horrible occurrence at the Marathon.
That's right.
Resumed on Saturday afternoon. He had a 3-run home run bottom of the 8th inning. after our good friend Johnny Gomes had got on base, another and a storybook ending to a game against the Royals. With a doubleheader the next day, lost both, but who cares? They won the game that mattered the most. First game back.
Napoli started the 2-run second inning with a hard hit ball toward Donaldson that he knocked it down on the backhand. A little bit wild to first. So Napoli got a base hit and he went to second on the throwing.
And he's such a scary hitter because he swings so hard.
Well, yeah, it's just one little mistake and you're in big trouble.
Saw earlier stat, the most home runs by any team against any team is 19 against the A's. And so that's a member of the Angels, the Rangers, and the Red Sox now.
Well, Napoli's got 81 hits and 58 RBIs. 316 at bats. Those are the good numbers. He's also struck out 118 times, so he's striking out more than 1/3 of the time, and that's not going to help. Right on the outside corner, strike 3 call. Second strikeout for Parker.
But he did not like the location, the call by Bill Miller, but Bill Miller did, and watch the call by Bill Miller on a fastball outside, perfectly thrown, and
Now batting, number 29.
height is okay. It looked like Tommy Cam probably would show it on the corner, and Bill Miller liked it so much he rang him up. Yeah.
So here is Daniel Nava. Nava was hit by a pitch, hit him in the back, and that's the play where after hitting him in the back, it kind of ricocheted and it hit C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire, and Buckner had to leave the game. So that is why we have just 3 umpires instead of the usual 4. To a pitch is rolled. Moss far to his right. Throws to Parker for out number 2. So with that umpire switch, Bill Miller has gone back behind home plate. And this is what happened to Bill Miller in a game here last August. Now,
Zach Greinke, and that was strike 2. But after getting hit in the head, not surprised. And
he just did not look good.
No.
And he did that a couple times, and I think everybody kind of said, you know what, Bill?
It's time to go.
Yep.
I don't blame him because he took one. That was Ionetta was catching for the Angels, and Zach Greinke was pitching, and they were all messed up. They didn't know what to do.
Saltalamakia drives one to deep right center, but in the ballpark. Corporal has it, side retired. So 7 in a row retired by Parker, and we're headed to the bottom of the 4th. Donaldson to lead it off.
Ladies and gentlemen.
3 ace pitchers who recorded wins in the 1988 ALCS versus Boston. 3 ace pitchers who recorded wins in the 88 ALCS. This is the Red Sox. So it was a sweep.
Still see Dennis Eckersley pumping the fist.
All right.
Yeah, he closed it. He didn't win it.
Big curve to Donaldson, and it drops in for a strike.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Dave Stewart.
There's one.
Dave Stewart was the first pitcher when Tony La Russa took over the job, 86, named Dave Stewart to start the first game that he managed against the Red Sox in Boston.
Good move.
Yep. And that was just the beginning of greatness for Oakland's own Dave Stewart.
Fastball just outside. So interesting, Ray. Maybe Lackey, second time through the lineup.
Yep.
Maybe a few more curveballs.
Oh yeah, that's why his assortment of pitches, and he has 4 very good pitches. He'll use all of them. He and Saltamaka can get on the same page.
Fastball inside. The Mariners have scored 3 more times, and they lead 6-0 over the Angels in the top of the 5th inning. Joe Williams is gone for the night.
3 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs.
That's an ouch. 2-2 pitch to Donaldson is on the outside corner with a fastball, and that is strikeout number 4.
But again, going to the fastball for the strikeout pitch, and he has been consistent.
Now batting shortstop.
At about 94 miles per hour, perfectly thrown.
First pitch to Lowry's popped up on the infield. Iglesias, the shortstop, is under it. He's got it, and Lowry is retired. So since walking Reddick in the second, 6 in a row retired by Lackey. He's still looking for their first hit. Cespedes walked and then stole a couple bases in the second inning. He ended up being stranded at third. There's an off-speed pitch in the first strike. Yeah, that did hit him. And Cespedes, with 2 outs, is going to get first base.
You hear the tick-tick, and just enough at inside, maybe a bloused uniform that Cespedes moved back. You can hear that click. And that was off the uniform. Brushed the blouse of the uniform when he backs off. That's the way to get hit.
That's right.
Hit the 5 on the 52, bloused out. If a catcher can catch a ball when a hitter is hit by a pitch, you know it's not a lot of contact.
No injury. Moss with a big swing and miss. Shift is on big time for Moss.
I think they're bunching him.
You think?
They're bunching him right here. That's how they're bunching him. Wow. At the outfield, as Ellsbury caught the ball hit last in here, last at bat. Ellsbury's center field playing in left center.
You know, Ray, the Red Sox also do something that we've talked about. They've left the shortstop at the shortstop spot. They've moved the third baseman over, which I always thought was a good idea because one less player is out of position.
Right. I think Joe Madden of the Rays.
I thought that made sense to me.
Exactly.
Now Holt, of course, moves to the other side of the diamond, but why not keep as many people in their normal spot? They're somewhat normal. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Best career batting average versus Red Sox as an Oakland Athletic. Brandon Moss. Minimum 25 at-bats. Hurting his old team. Remember when the A's opened in Japan against the Red Sox?
2008.
2008. And I remember watching it at home, and Brandon Moss hit a big home run for the Red Sox. Tied a game in the 9th inning.
Straight. Came back to the States and was sent down.
And then soon after that, traded.
Yeah.
So who's this Moss guy? 2-2 pitch. There.
Well, we'll see what John Lackey does as Josh Reddick waits in the on-deck circle. It's 3-2 count once again to a hitter. And this time the power hitter, Brandon Moss. Saltimbanquia stood up as catchers do with the runner at first, 3-2. He's pointed to first base. Well, that's the only place really to go because nobody's going to get to second, considering this dramatic shift.
Cespedes takes off, and the pitch is outside. He walked in.
Challenging.
So that's walk number 3 for Lackey.
Kind of a pattern developing here. If you think about what Lackey has done with the 4 strikeouts, fastballs. Falling behind as he did the Cespedes last inning, or second inning. Reddick, and now Moss. He goes sliding, trying to give the chase. And we'll see as this game progresses. It is just the 4th inning. 66 pitch coming up. And he's looking for a big hit. And for them, it would be their first hit.
First pitch to Reddick. Just outside. Reddick walked in the second. Red Sox scored their 2 in the top of the 2nd inning.
Josh Reddick in his first Major League Grand Slam against his former team, the Red Sox. He'll take a 3-run shot now.
And a breaking ball. Boy, he snapped that one off. Caught the outside corner, I guess.
It was backdoor, outside corner, and it looked like when Saltimbanquia caught it was down. It caught the corner, but Bill Miller called it, went across the plate in the strike zone.
Another breaking ball. This time Reddick swings and misses. So it's 1-2. See, that pitch right there, the 2 that he's thrown to Reddick, we haven't seen a lot of those big breaking balls tonight up until this inning.
Yep.
Pitch is a fastball hit foul down the left field line.
Yeah, they talk about pitching backwards, and in essence, I think it's just good pitching. And what Lackey's doing is considered pitching backwards and throwing off-speed pitches in hitters' counts and in pitchers' count. In this case, a hit. He's throwing fastballs. He just threw a fastball. Reddick fouled off, but Josh, after swinging at a slider, curveball down and in off the plate, is protected. Swinging late with a fastball.
Another foul ball. 87 miles an hour on that. 71 pitches. 3 2/3 innings for Lackey. So he's had to work, especially in the 2nd and the 4th. Nifty quick look, and the pitch. Tried that breaking ball outside. He thought it was a strike. He looks toward his dugout.
Ball backed up. It did not break. Watch it start outside and just keep going outside.
Just a little outside.
I think Reddick would have flipped more than his bat if he'd been called out on that one.
So the count even at 2-2. Cespedes at second. BOS at first. And here's the pitch. And it's ripped foul. Way out in front of another curveball. So pitcher catcher going to talk it over.
Years of the conversation like this takes place, the catcher gets back, does not give a sign, and he goes, "Oh, you're not going to shake me off this time because you've told me what you want to throw."
If we don't agree after having a meeting on the mound, then we are in major trouble.
Serious trouble.
Good battle here. Fastball outside corner, strike 3 called. So Lackey, a little emotion after getting a big strikeout of Reddick, and the A's strand a pair. So we're headed to the 5th. Still 2-0 Boston.
When the A's host the Angels, Saturday's July 27, 10,000 fans will receive an Oaklandish throwback t-shirt presented by Tribune Tavern. The event will feature music and fashion from the 1960s, and both teams will wear throwback uniforms from the era. For more information and tickets, call 877-493-BALL or visit oaklandathletics.com/1969. Oaklandish. I can't wait to see those t-shirts. Those will be good ones.
Yep, be fun. Get a couple.
Oh, boy, that. That's Larry want to come and talk.
Donaldson takes care of Iglesias.
But as many pitches as John Lackey has thrown, Jared Parker must seem like he's staying in the dugout forever, and he looks up and he's still trailing 2-0.
Yep. A strange game so far. Parker's now retired 8 in a row. Speaking of those t-shirts, I have a 5-year-old daughter, soon to be 6, and she likes those A's giveaway t-shirts, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Likes to sleep in them. They're a little big on her, but so she has her pajama bottoms on, and
so she'll have a Josh Reddick jersey after tomorrow.
That's right. Today she walked down. She had remember the handlebar mustache gold on the green t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
That gift. That's what she was sporting this morning.
And how about the T-shirt that was given to you? That
that's already been worn. Tell me, she likes that.
That's good. So there's a Cespedes. The Cespedes jersey already been given away. That was the 52. Got the Rage shirt.
Yeah, we need to get a couple of those too.
Well, the best thing regarding the Balfour Rage that we could see in the 9th inning, if he comes in trying to save another game, because that means right field bleacher creatures will be raging. Grant Balfour, still time. We hope that he is selected the American League All-Star team. A lot of things have happened since the original team was named.
And guys get hurt every other day. Yeah, I mean
Darvish on the DL, so he's out.
That one's driven to left center field. And Cespedes is going to get there, and he makes the catch. So Brock Holt hit it right on the button, but Cespedes makes a nice play.
Same place he hit his 2-run single in the 2nd inning. That led to the 2 runs in this game. This one, though, stayed up in the air long enough. Cespedes was able to track it down. Cespedes a lot more comfortable in left field, making some nice plays, getting good reads off the bat. All important for a corner outfielder. Sometimes worse for a center fielder when the ball hits straight at him.
Top of the order in Jacoby Ellsbury, who is struck out and grounded out. And he pops it up. More action for Cespedes as he trots in. So Parker has settled in nicely. He's retired 10 in a row. Bottom of the 5th coming up. It'll be Smith, Sogard, and Crisp. 2-0 Boston. Answer. Named the 3 ace pitchers who recorded wins in the 1988 ALCS against Boston. Rick Honeycutt won Game 1. Gene Nelson won Games 2 and 3. And Dave Stewart finished it off Game 4. So the relievers took charge early in that series. Red Sox with a 2-0 lead. Smith, Sogard, and Crisp against John Lackey. Good breaking ball, and it's in first strike. 1-1 the count. Some notes on that 1988 ALCS. 3 home runs for Canseco. And Eck saved all 4. Good enough for the series MVP. So course, that was the first year, the 3 straight trips to the World Series. I got to believe, Ray, you have a great regular season. You know you got a great team, and then you sweep the Red Sox in the ALCS. You have to be going into the World Series thinking, yep, we're good. I'm not saying that they were overconfident. That's not my point. The point is, when you sweep an ALCS, you have to have a lot of confidence.
Absolutely. And that team was good, and all 3 teams were good.
Yep.
88, 89, 90. And unfortunately for the A's, they didn't win game 1 with the home run by Gibson, knowing they had to face Hershiser game 2, who had the consecutive scoreless inning streak, breaking late Don Drysdale streak. And he pitched game 2, and that was going to be kind of an automatic. So just hopeful they would split the first 2 games, coming back to Oakland for 3, 4, and 5. But they won the first 2. The A's did win 1 here, lost 4 out of 5.
That one hit to left. Nava on the move. He's not going to get it, and it hits off the base of the wall. And Smith is going to have the A's first hit, and it's a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 5th.
Amazing how the ball carried to the wall. And Seth Smith just protecting against what was a breaking ball from John Lackey. So Seth Smith back in the DH role. And a very nice swing on a curveball that he just stayed on it. And no chance for Nava to get to it, and came very close, leaving the yard. Hitting off the wall, the base of it anyway. And so Seth Smith, up on the wall, so carried very well. And Seth Smith with the first hit of the game for the Athletics.
Sogard swings over top that big breaking ball.
Well, if nothing else, just get the runner to third base with this at bat, because the Red Sox will play back more than likely. Coco Crisp, and A's might be able to sneak a run across.
Outfield shifted toward left center. At least Ellsbury is, and Nava, the left fielder, is pretty shallow. That one was way inside, and Sogard, if he didn't hit it, it may have hit him. So 1-2. And that one hit right side. Pedroia has it, so Sogard does his job as he gets Smith over to third with 1 out.
That's a great job, and especially with a couple of strikes, and we'll see what the Red Sox do. And we'd think that with the 2-run lead, they would play back. It is the 5th inning, and with maybe the exception of the third baseman, but short second, first for a left-handed hitter. So only the pitcher and the third baseman would Smith not be able to score, and they on a ground ball. Outfielder Nava in left field, very shallow, playing Coco Crisp.
It's been a while since the A's scored a run. I know that sounds strange, but it has been. Remember, shut out on Wednesday.
2-run home run by Brandon Moss.
And that was in the 5th inning on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So do the math. Final 4 innings Tuesday, 9 on Wednesday, 4 tonight. So 18 consecutive innings without scoring a run for the A's. Pretty good opportunity here.
Amazing in the series. Pittsburgh 5-0 in final game on Wednesday. A's were outscored 7-4, 1-2.
Yep, that is amazing. 13 hits and 4 runs total in 3 games, and they won 2 of them. That one is a bit high. So 3-0 to Coco Crisp. Coco taking, and it's a strike. 20th at third. And foul back. A breaking ball that hung, and Coco had a good swing, and now it's a full count.
Well, if the pattern holds true, it should be another breaking ball from Lackey. A hard curveball. He also has to be concerned about throwing a curveball too hard and bouncing it with the runner at third base.
And he goes a fastball up and away, and he walked it.
You might think, well, the double play's in order, which it is. But Coco's got a chance to steal second. And if that happens, then the A's would have two runners in scoring position. And I would think that if Coco is thinking about stealing, that he would try to do it as early in the count as possible to take away any possibility of a double play.
Jaso has struck out and grounded out. But for the second inning in a row, a scoring opportunity for the A's. They also had one in the second. And that one's hit into right field, a base hit, and the A's are on the board. Coco stops at second, but the ball is kicked by Victorino, and now Coco's going to go to third. Victorino was not rushing to pick it up and throw it anywhere. He just missed it.
Yeah. And a first pitch fastball to John Jaso, the hole between first and second, with the runner being held at first. So a great job by Jaso jumping on the first fastball right down the middle bell time, and he crushed it past the first baseman Napoli. And you're right, no chance. Coco was not going to go to third. So Victorino really just
He just missed it. He just dropped it.
Yeah, Pedroia's been doing all night. Just go down to one knee.
He may have been thinking about coming up and throwing, but there's nobody was going.
He wasn't going, and just maybe the threat of Coco running forced this to happen. He actually looked down, but took it off to the side. And John Lackey jumping for joy.
Now batting third baseman, number 20.
Well, that's a big 90 feet.
Oh, it's huge.
Man.
It's very big 90 feet.
Just one out. So Coco now at third. Jaso picks up his 20th RBI of the year. First pitch to Donaldson is lined. Pedroia, what a play, and that's a double play. Unbelievable play by Dustin Pedroia. Oh, man. Wow. So the A's get one run, and we're headed to the sixth. 2-1 Red Sox. This is one of the best plays we've seen all year, right?
This is a double to right center field, but knocked down, caught, flip, double play that quickly. Unbelievable play by Pedroia. He just fell down to his right, reached back to his left, and found the ball and turned an unbelievable double play that would have tied the game. The A's probably at least had first and third, maybe second and third, but instead, back in the dugout of the Red Sox, Pedroia hit second. And what a play. And I saw Coco Crisp rob McCutcheon in Pittsburgh. That was a huge rob there. That hope that is not the play of the game that stops it for the A's, but it's a big help, John Lackey.
So 2-1, top of the sixth, Victorino, Pedroia, Ortiz. No walks, 2 strikeouts for Parker. And he has retired 10 in a row. The last hit was that 2-run single by Brock Holt. And that was in the second inning.
One player that was very happy with the double play is Victorino.
Yeah, that's true. Victorino pops this one up, and Sogard takes care of it, and that's out number 1.
Join Bob Melvin of the A's for the first A's Community Fund Bowling Bash, sponsored in part by Budweiser. The Bowling Bash takes place on Saturday, August the 3rd at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl in Dublin. Sponsorships are available now. Proceeds benefit the A's Community Fund. To become a sponsor or for more information on the Community Fund Bowling Bash, visit OaklandAthletics.com or call 510-638-4900 extension 2241.
First pitch to Pedroia, and Pedroia hits one in the air to right. Reddick is under, and that's out number 2. And don't forget about Tuesday night's All-Star game at Citi Field in New York, where
Now batting,
Bartolo Colon's going to be.
Is that one on the screen?
Ortiz.
I just had a little All-Star game fever.
Happy man, except maybe happy Sunday. Right now he's flipping sunflower seeds.
So he will pitch on Sunday and then
decide what he's going to do.
And I don't know that we talked about this, Ray, but it's his call.
Yeah.
He could say to Jim Leland, you know what? Yeah, I think I could pitch an inning on Tuesday. Or he can say, you know what? I'm out. And I think most guys who pitch on this Sunday, well, you know, but it's really the pitcher's call. It's not an automatic. You pitch on Sunday, you're not.
Yeah, it used to be. It used to be.
Right.
Yeah, but it's up to the pitcher. If he thinks he could pitch an inning, then he could go. But I know a lot of pitchers will say that the first day is okay, second day is the one that's the worst. So if that's the case, let's say Bartolo pitches on Sunday, which he's going to, and does not pitch, he could pitch back-to-back games. He could pitch Sunday and Friday, first game back after the All-Star break. That would be his normal 5th day. Could back it up, get more, but that's something Kurt Young and Bob Melvin will decide.
So in that case, if Colon says I can't go, then Jim Leland's going to have to name a replacement for Colon.
And we hope before Sunday is over that Grant Balfour gets a name from somebody, gets a call from somebody that he's going to be an All-Star.
I haven't seen have you seen a list of starters who will be pitching on Sunday in the American League?
I think there were going to be a total of 3 counting Bartolo.
I haven't, kind of looking for it. I have not seen that. Off of Parker's glove, Lowry picks it up, underhands, and they just got Ortiz at first. So another 3-up, 3-down inning for Parker. Nice play all around. And we're headed to the bottom of the 6th, 2-1 Red Sox. by GoPro, the world's most versatile camera. GoPro, be a hero. Well, kind of a lot of action tonight for what is a 2-1 game. There's been some great plays. There's been some poor defensive plays. Red Sox 2, A's 1, bottom of the 6th. And Lowry will lead things off. Lowry, Cespedes, Moss. A's with 2 hits off Lackey, both coming last inning. Lowry has struck out and popped out to short.
You know, they have the statistic of what you do as a hitter with runners, third base less than 2 outs. You know, they have the percentage of get him in. I think with Josh Donaldson, you should figure, don't even factor that one in, because that ball was hit as hard.
Right field, Victorino going back. He's near the wall, and that baby's gone. We're tied at 2.
82, he got him to the breaking ball and down and in, and Jet Lowry hit his first against a left-handed pitcher over the weekend in Kansas City. Comes back from the left side against a righty and comes up with a big one to tie the game.
Run number 7 for Lowry. Here's Cespedes, 1-0 the count. Ball 2-0.
Well, Lowry with the breaking ball down on his wheelhouse, down and in, and just great swing. Got the foot down, and that's a great swing with the top hand. Nice follow through. It looked like David Ortiz. Poppy with the follow through.
That curve is a strike, so it's 2-0.
Now, Lowry hit 3 home runs, the 3rd, the 6th, and the 7th of April. Went until June the 21st, and now since then it's 4 that he's hit. So he had 16 last year. Maybe starting to like the Coliseum and hitting the long ball. Lowry's got some history with the Red Sox too.
That's right. He was with them for a while.
Shortstop for the
original Red Sox.
Red Sox, and then to Houston.
Pitch, foul back. Get a piece of like Saltalamacchia.
Between the catchers and the umpires tonight, they're taking a beating. And really, with the foul balls, when they come off the bat straight back, you can watch the mask fly off the head of Saltalamacchia. 2 catchers wear the full helmet with the bill turned around to the front. He's one of them.
Iglesias, the shortstop, ranging quite a ways to his left. And Cespedes is retired for out number 1.
Now batting. First baseman.
So here's Moss.
Number 37, Brandon Moss.
Moss with a fly ball to center field and a walk so far. Action in the Red Sox bullpen. You see the pitch count for Lackey. Well, it's a left-hander, and the Red Sox only have 1 left-hander in their bullpen, so it has to be
for now.
Hit hard. Looks like that's Brock Holt, who is playing over there on the shift. That's a good point. Greg Breslow will be joined by Matt Thornton for just joining us. The Red Sox early in the game announced that they had acquired the left-handed reliever Matt Thornton from the White Sox. So,
now, do you put that down as a 5-3?
I did. Yeah, I did.
5-3 from second base position.
I could understand the argument of putting down a 4. So do you put it?
I'm going to put down a 5/4 in parentheses, Mitchell.
You put.
What did he say, B.I.? 5-3. That's the official score, so it can go down as a 5-3.
He is officially the third baseman. He's
still there.
1-0 to Reddick. Walk and a strikeout for Reddick.
Thinking about it.
So Iglesias, the shortstop, heads back to his position. Is hit hard, and Holt is right there again. Side retired, but the A's tie it thanks to Jed Lowry, his 7th home run of the year into the seats in right. So 7th inning coming up, and we are now tied at 2. McDonald's. On this date in 2001, Mark Mulder threw a 6-hit shutout against the Dodgers. That looks like Eric Karros. He did it right here at the Coliseum. 107 pitches, 3rd career shutout, and 2nd in a row. And Miguel Tejada home run, his 20th of the year. The A's won 6-0. That was 2001. It's fun to look back at those highlights. It was a pretty good run for the A's in 2000 to 2003.
Game probably lasted about an hour and 48 minutes.
Not a good night to have fireworks.
Mulder did not take a long time.
It's the modern version of Ken Holtzman.
Hour and a half, go home. One way or the other. Win or lose.
Napoli, one around, and a quick 0-2 to Mike Napoli. He'll be followed by Nava and Saltalamacchia.
It's amazing the discipline that Mike Napoli has, considering his strong swing. Think of Jose Bautista and Josh Donaldson, the A's, that they get ready to attack, load up quickly, swing hard, but disciplined enough not to swing too many pitches out of the strike zone.
Right there, strike 3 call. And Napoli knew it. Strikeout number 3. Parker, we got a special happy birthday, and I mean special today. Steve Vucinich. There he is, the Voos. Everybody knows who Voos is. We call him the Godfather.
And now, I could understand the cigar, but what about this? I mean, was that superimposed up on his head? Come on. I mean, huh? You think Voos is going to walk around with that on his head?
Not quite. He had it on in Pittsburgh the other night. So happy birthday to Voos.
Yeah, Voos. I said, Voos, you're working on your birthday. He said 14 hours. So Voos, that picture is prominently displayed not only now for the world to see, but down in the clubhouse where players are able to see it.
And he's in his 60s somewhere. We'll just go there. Early.
Young man.
He's good. He's ours. We're going to keep him. Moss has it, and that is out number 2. So I got 15 in a row retired by Parker.
That's right.
So he has just been rolling right through the very good Red Sox.
A couple of 9s, a 10, and now a 6 in this inning. So, yeah, definitely very good.
Now, you do this against the Red Sox, you're doing something. I mean, their offensive numbers are extremely impressive.
Now, the most important thing that Parker has done is put up zeros after club scored 2, give his club a chance to come back and at this point tie it, and it looks like Lackey might be finished. Breslow heating up again. Now Thornton has made a quick turn to
Learjet.
Yeah.
High drive to center. Coke goes back. He's under it. Side retired. 16 in a row retired by Jared Parker. 7th inning stretch from the Coliseum. We are tied at 2. Two, bottom of the 7th between the Red Sox and the Athletics. So Lackey back out there. He's
like that. He wanted it.
Let's see, and he is over 100 pitches. He's at 103. His season high is 116, and that was in his last start, which was on Sunday night. Smith, Zogard, and Crisp. Hit the other way foul. Tigers beat the Rangers tonight 7-2. Pfister over Grimm. Detroit scored a bunch early. In fact, they scored 5 in the first. Miguel Cabrera had an RBI in that game. He has 95 RBIs.
Get 5 more the next 2 days and finish the first half with 100.
That's something. Not to be outdone, though. What did Chris Davis do? The Orioles won 8-5 over the Blue Jays. Tillman got his 11th win. Burley took the loss. Iglesias guns it across, and so the shift was on there, and Smith hit it right to the shortstop. So that is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
But John Lackey, anytime he comes to the Coliseum, has to be thinking about a special day in 2006 when, on July the 7th, remember the Mark Kontze leadoff double, and then he retired 27 consecutive batters.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Game that took a little over 2 hours, 2 hours and a minute. Retired 27 in a row after a leadoff double.
Thank you, Mark Kontze.
Thank you for being a perfecto. So that was also the same year that he made the mistake of yelling at Jason Kendall down in Anaheim. Jason charged him out.
Kendall, man.
Jason got his annual suspension after being ejected. So it's quite a year for John Lackey. 2006, great year for the A's also, as they defeated the Twins in the Division Series, went to the League Championship Series, but unfortunately lost to the Tigers.
Bailey and Breslow warming up in the A's bullpen. Sure, they did a few times, though. Right?
But you know, they're together a lot anyway. I mean, they live on the East Coast, and Strike 3 Foundation, the Breslow Foundation, which is a very good one. There's a lot of money. Beetle Bailey's always involved with him in that.
Want to know to Coco Crisp, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Taken all the way, and the pitch is inside. So we need to mention, we talked about Cabrera. Chris Davis hit another home run in that Orioles win. He's got 35 home runs and 88 RBIs. So he will not be outdone by Miguel Cabrera. Kind of fun to watch those two. Not necessarily face them, but from afar, it's kind of fun to see what they're doing. So Chris Davis, most home runs before the All-Star break since Bonds hit 39 in 2001. McGuire had 37 in 1998. And Reggie Jackson had 37 in 1969.
And I don't think Reggie hit more than mid-40s.
That's right. He slumped in the second half. Hit hard, but Napoli has it. Flips to Lackey, and Lackey has now retired 6 in a row. So we are on to the 8th. It's a 2-2 game.
Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports, and by Toyota. Do the math and save at your local Toyota dealer.
2-2 game, top of the 8th inning. And the A's are going to the bullpen. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog expert. So Doolittle comes in. (3-2) with a 3.26 ERA for Doolittle. Iglesias, Holt, Ellsbury. So Parker's going to get a no decision. He pitched extremely well. In fact, he retired in the final 16 hitters that he faced. So, second inning, gives up a couple of hits, a couple errors, and that's it. He gave up one hit in the first inning. 3 up, 3 down innings in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Bit low to Jose Iglesias. Mariners still leading the Angels. It's 8-1 in the top of the 8th inning. That one fair. Pass Moss down the right field line. Reddick was shaded that way, so he's able to get to it, but it's a leadoff single for Iglesias. He hit it hard and just between Moss and the line.
Well, fortunately, Reddick was playing as shallow and shading him that direction. Figured he was not going to pull him, and he played him perfectly, keeping Iglesias to just a single. Considering the way this ball was hit, you figure inside the line it's going to be a double, but there's Reddick, and definitely not going to test his arm.
Holt shows bunt, takes a strike. Raul Ibanez has hit another home run in that game in Seattle. He's got 2 tonight. He's got 24 on the year.
Is he going to New York? Is he an all-star?
He should be. 24 home runs.
He's 41. 41 years young. And that young part is correct.
Yankees shut out the Twins tonight 2-0. Kuroda got the win. Rivera the save. And that was a rain delay in that game. Derek Jeter not in the lineup. He's going to be out for a little bit.
Yeah, they said after the break, because the break starts next Monday. Give him a week or so to rest.
Doolittle picks it up, and he juggled and stumbled just a little bit. And he gets the out at first. Iglesias to second. He may have had a shot at second base, but looked like he lost his footing a little bit.
No, that's the best. When in doubt, if there's any doubt, get the one out at first base. And it was butted hard, especially as hard as Doolittle throws. It was butted back to him. And there's the one. He started to throw to second and then changed direction at the same time through to first and barely got the hustling Holt. This ball butted very hard back to him. He tried to deaden the ball, could not. But I think it's a combination, maybe slipping and also realizing that Iglesias had gotten down to second very quickly. And if he was going to throw to second, pretty good chance, or maybe he was going to be safe, and that would be first and second.
So here's the top of the order in Ellsbury. And the first pitch, swing and a miss, 95 miles an hour. Ellsbury's quiet tonight, 0 for 3.
Maybe trying to tell him to bunt third base first, and both saying, "Yeah, how hard is the ball? Yeah, how lucky? How lucky I was just to get the ball down." Charlie Vella's got a chance to man sometime too.
Victorino is the on-deck hitter. I'm surprised that Jeter came back and only played in 4 rehab games.
Well, I think the injuries to some of the Yankees, and he was never going to say that he wasn't ready. And that's probably the combination of him saying that he's ready, and he maybe wasn't. And then the Yankees, a couple of injuries, and just bombarded with injuries. And getting the captain back might help them, man. Maybe it did, because he won yesterday, won again today. Tonight.
Curveball, it hung a little bit. Ellsbury fouled it back. So 1-2. Doolittle's ready. Fastball up, and Ellsbury had a notion and then held up. That one foul. Outfield shifted toward left center. Cespedes is very shallow on left.
He's trying to keep Iglesias close, and that inside move, the spin, to try to keep him close also, just in case he's thinking about running.
Slider, not close, and it's 3-2. So big pitch here. And that one bounced right side. Sogard has it. Spins and throws. Nice play.
Well, talk about a play. That was a 360 and just find the first baseman as quickly as possible. Played him to pull anyway, but you don't figure he's going to pull the ball, but he had the count in his favor, and then from the outfield grass, the 360. And just unbelievable that he was able to pick up the target and make a perfect throw without really seeing his target, maybe until after he had thrown. What a great play by Sogard.
Here's Victorino.
It's just to keep it from being first and third.
Victorino fouls a fastball back 97 miles an hour. Victorino is hitless tonight. And that hit him. So Victorino slowly heads to first base.
Well, that's simply frustration and guy being upset himself. Not the fact that Doolittle hit him, but just the fact that he was hit. And that had to hurt. You give it a mid-90s fastball. And he reacts this way because this hurts.
Well, plus it's up around the shoulders, and that's going to upset any hitter.
Unfortunately for Victorino, he's had his problems with injuries, usually with legs, but to get hit that hard.
So they're checking that right hand.
He can't use his right hand to take off his batting glove, so he's using his teeth. Bob Melvin coming out, and the right-handed Pedroia coming up, and Cook loose. It's going to be Ryan Cook.
All right, so Cook will take on Pedroia with runners at the corners when we come back. California is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Cache Creek's endless summers, waves of cash every day. Visit cachecreek.com for details. So the game is on the line here in the top of the 8th inning. 2-2, and the Red Sox have first and third. And how about this matchup, Ray? Cook against Pedroia.
Mr. Aggressive versus Mr. Aggressive. You got a guy throws hard, a pitcher in Ryan Cook, an outstanding 2 and 4 seam fastball, hard slider, and the always aggressive Dustin Pedroia with the bases loaded.
So Iglesias at third, Victorino at first. Cook kicks, and the first pitch to Pedroia, strike outside corner. Victorino runs, the slider is low, and Victorino will make it without a throw. Stolen base. Well, that takes the force out of play.
Really not a bad idea just to keep the infielders in their position. In the event a hitter swings, you don't want to open up a spot, so you take the chance of allowing the runner to get to second base.
And that's a base hit left field. One run scores. Victorino's going to be waved around. He's going to score, and Pedroia with a huge hit. A 2-out, 2-run single, and the Red Sox lead 4-2, and it looked like a hanger.
Exactly. Exactly right. If he's aggressive and you hang one, he's not going to miss it. Threw him a very good one for the first pitch, but this one stayed right in the middle of the plate. And Ryan Cook knew it. Pedroia has 6 home runs, but the biggest thing for him is driving in runs. He just drove in 2 big ones.
He's got 55 RBIs on the year now, so 2 big ones there. Here's Ortiz, quick throw to first. Bailey is by himself now, warming up. Nobody happier than that guy, John Lackey. Jaso took another direct shot. Actually off to the side just a little bit. Not that it hurts any less.
It's probably good that it's off to the side because it flipped his mask off his face. If it goes straight on, then the head of the neck takes the brunt of the blow.
0-1 to Ortiz, but a good throw to first. Andrew Bailey throwing. He is not their closer. He was for a while, but he's really struggled. Koji Uhara saw with the Texas Rangers last year. Uhara is their closer. But both those runs charged to Doolittle. Check swing. So Doolittle's going to be frustrated probably with the Victorino at bat where he hit him, because you got an all-star. Nothing against Victorino, but you got Pedroia. It's probably, you don't want it to get to that point, and it did.
And it had to go to the matchups, riding on right.
Two now to Ortiz. In the bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be Jaso, Donaldson, and Lowry for the Athletics. take there by Ortiz. On deck hitter Napoli. There are 2 outs. And it's rolled foul. Pedroia on the move. There's 5 hits for the Red Sox, just 3 hits for the Athletics. There goes, pitches on the inside corner, strike 3 called. Ortiz is in disbelief. But beside his retired Red Sox get a big hit from Pedroia, and they lead 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. All right, here's our Toyota game summary. The A's were trailing 2-0, but they got a run back in the 5th. Jaso with an RBI single. And then in the 6th, Lowry, a home run to right field, his 7th year. That tied the game at 2. But the big hit so far, Dustin Pedroia. It's going to come in the top of the 8th inning. But Parker was very good. He's going to get a no decision. 7 strong. Gave up just 3 hits and the 2 runs. That was in the 2nd inning. But that's the big hit right there. A 2-out, 2-run single by Dustin Pedroia. 4-5-1 for the Red Sox, 2-3-2 for the Athletics. That's your game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. So bottom of the 8th, Jaso to lead it off, and he's facing a new pitcher. It's Andrew Bailey. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Oil change, tune-up, and spawn expert. So the big right-hander Bailey comes in. So 5 blown saves. And that is why he is no longer the closer.
There's a cut fastball that, of course, he perfected when he's in the A's organization. And it's a good one. Helped him win the Rookie of the Year. Saved a lot of games for the A's.
1 pitch to Jaso is high. It's been kind of a strange 2 years for Bailey in Boston. He was hurt a lot last year, and then this year said, I feel great, I feel healthy, had a pretty good start, but then struggled and lost his closer job. Now he's pitching the 8th inning. Fastball there at 94 miles an hour, and it's 2-2.
Miguel Patterson taught him to cut fastball, and that really changed his whole career. As Dan Otero gets loose. He's a battle back to tie it. You figure at home you got a chance when you have the last at bat. Try to keep him down. Go to the 8th inning. You got you back into the bullpen, but it just didn't work out. Let's talk to this point.
Donaldson will be next, and then Lowry here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-2 pitch is high, and it's a leadoff walk. Andrew Bailey as an Athletic. Rookie of the year, was an all-star. And when he was on, he was nasty.
Yeah.
Too hard.
Lowry and Bill Bailey, his parents, and Andrew said they look at the schedule at the beginning of the season. They count about 36, 37 games they get to watch Andrew and the Red Sox, whether it's in Boston or someplace on the East Coast. So
there's a baseball loose way out in left field. Nice folks, and Andrew Bailey, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. So Jace aboard, here's Donaldson. Fouled it straight back and had a good rip. So Breslow up for the second time. Donaldson, fly out to right, strikeout, and then he hit into the double play where he hit a shot that Pedroia made a terrific play on.
Well, we don't even talk about that because play Pedroia may have turned the game around defensively, and then, of course, what he has done offensively in this game with the big 2-run single with 2 outs. The play he made, who knows where that ball would have ended up. As hard as it was hit, almost took Pedroia into the outfield.
Hit very high to left field. Nava's back. Room. 1 out.
Got under a high cutter. Just got under it. And just under it. Just could not drive it far enough. Even in daytime, I don't think it would have made it, but that's a case of maybe getting the foot down just a little bit too soon, and as a result, got under the ball.
So Lowry hits, homered in the 6th. First pitch is lined down the right field line, but foul. It's a good looking t-shirt right there, the Mustache Gang.
And that kind of mustache, you can wear the shirt.
Yes, you can. You're allowed. Check swing, rolled foul. So the count 0-2 to Lowry with Cespedes in the on-deck circle. Jaso, decent lead at first, but not going anywhere, and a fastball up and away. So Breslow in the bullpen, the left-hander. Obviously, he's getting ready if the inning would extend to Moss and Reddick. Two, and Lowry swings and misses. Chase one, and that's out number 2.
Outside, perfectly thrown, and just a flail by Jet Lowry.
Number 52.
But it's kind of smart pitching after he pulled a home run last at bat, pulled a fastball down in the corner. This at bat, stayed away from him after that.
So here's Cespedes. First pitch, and steps in there for a strike. Cespedes, walk, hit by pitch, ground out to short. Fastball, and that was a good challenge heater, and Cespedes swings through it, and the count is 0-2.
Elevated fastball, and those are the ones that, if he can pitch up in the zone, it's difficult for a hitter to make solid contact. And the cutter that he's thrown so well, as long as he doesn't get under, it's a pretty tough pitch to hit.
Good pitch by Bailey on 0-2.
There's no cutter. That's a four-seam fastball.
Jaso led off the inning with a walk, but Donaldson fly out, Lowry strikeout. 1-2 pitch off the end of the bat.
That was the cutter. Yeah.
So he throws it about 87, 88 miles an hour.
But, you know, he got under that one a little bit, which created a bigger break, but can be dangerous because the one he threw to Donaldson is almost a dangerous pitch for him.
Moss would be next. 1-2 pitch, high fastball, struck him out swinging. So Bailey does his job after walking the leadoff man, strikes out a couple. Ninth inning coming up, 4-2 Red Sox.
Into U versus Rewind, Jared Parker. What an evening he had. 2 runs in the first inning, but after that, 16 in a row he retired until he left after 7 innings. But change-up working great. Fastball, both sides of the plate. Jared Parker just 3 hits, 1 in the first, 2 in the second. Nothing from the 3rd to the 7th. But where it stands now, thanks to Dustin Pedroia's outstanding defensive play, turn a double play. The A's first and third, and then a 2-run single with 2 outs. in the 8th inning. Gives the Red Sox the lead.
Number 12.
So Jesse Chavez comes in. Well, he will try to keep this a 2-run deficit. He'll face Napoli, Nava, and Saltalamacchia. Napoli is 1 for 3, single and a couple of strikeouts. He scored a run in the 2nd inning. 2 in the 2nd, 2 in the 8th for the Red Sox. That game in Seattle is now in the 9th inning with the Mariners leading the Angels 8-3. Here's Koji Uehara. He is the Red Sox closer.
Is he also on the list of the 5? Did the final vote? Is he one of them? The others all relievers.
He was, yeah. Delabar won it. The closer from, not the closer, but the reliever from the Toronto Blue Jays. Yeah, I think Uehara was on there.
I think they had Robertson, the Yankees, because he was High Sox.
He was High Sox. Napoli fouls at bat. So 2-2 to Napoli. Good breaking ball there, and he just got a piece of it.
Chavez with a very good 12-6 curveball, and that's just barely hanging on for Napoli.
Fastball is hit high to left. Cespedes going back. He's near the wall, and he leaps, and it's off the wall, and it rolls towards center field. And Napoli is going to lumber around second into third with a stand-up triple. Just missed a home run.
You know, he wasn't even running.
No, he looks like, I don't know if he's banged up a little bit, but he was moving very slowly.
Remember, his hit caused him to have to settle for a 1-year contract. He might have thought he got enough to hit it out, but kind of jogging to first, then to second, and as high as the ball was hit, if he is sprinting from home plate, even he, with his not so blazing speed, might have had a chance for a grand slam. But Cespedes timed it perfectly, and I think just missed it because he jumped up above the Xfinity sign, but the ball was right there, and then went off the wall, off his glove.
So the infield comes in. Talk about insurance runs all the time, right? It's one of those small things about baseball that may be more important than the attention it gets.
Unfortunately.
In this case, yeah.
I mean, this is a Houdini act for Chavez. If he can get out of it, then
He's 0-2.
It would be great if he could, because it would leave it at just a 2-run lead, which give 3 to a closer. Just takes away so many opportunities for, in this case, a home club trailing.
Nava has been hit by a pitch and scored a run, and he has grounded out twice. Rolled foul. So the Red Sox trying to add on. Red Sox, the highest scoring team in all of baseball. Closing in on 500 runs scored this year. They are a pinch runner. Looks like Jackie Bradley Jr. So Napoli is done. He's 2 for 4 with a single and a triple.
Bradley hits that. It's an inside the park home run.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. A line drive, but maybe off the inner part of the bat just a little bit by now. Lamakia is the on-deck hitter. 1-2 pitch, big chopper. Lowry has it. Bradley will hold, and that's out number 1.
Part 1.
Part 1.
That's great.
So would you say, Ray, if there's 1 out and that ball's hit, Bradley's probably taken off?
I would say that's a better chance of him running on contact.
Number 39.
So I'd say good chance now, and the ball's hit high too.
Yep. I thought he was going to take off.
Yeah.
And here's Saltalamakia. 3 fly ball outs for the catcher. Rolls that one, and it jumped foul right at the last minute. Moss charged it, but Bradley was going to score, so maybe it's better that it did go foul.
Contact. There it was. As soon as contact is made, that ball hit and then took off. Fortunately, from the A's standpoint, in the foul territory, and Brandon Moss let it go.
Foul. So it's 0-2. So Jesse Chavez jumping out ahead. He did it with Nava and got him, and he's done it with Saltalamakia. On deck is Jose Iglesias. Fastball runs in, kind of away from the target. It's been Parker, Doolittle, Cook, and now Chavez here in the 9th inning. Outside, 1-2. That 2-2 to Saltalamakia.
Throwing him off fastballs, no curveball yet.
And another fastball. That one drops low. So Saltalamakia has worked it full.
Now throwing the curve. Loving the sleep thinking off fastballs. Chavez has such a great curveball. Mostly to right-handers, though, not as much to lefties, but maybe this time.
And good pitch, call the ball. So Saltalamakia, you'd almost think that'd be a pitch you want to swing at, a fastball.
Yes.
Right down around the knees. But he took it, and it was called a ball.
Defensive strategy for the A's with skipper Bob Melvin. And I mean, you make the call on this fastball. Jaso, a little bit of the outside part of the plate, but the ball's right down the middle. Definitely high enough.
Looked like it went past the front knee, and it was a decent height.
Remember David Ortiz in his last at bat called out when pitch was on the inner part of the plate, and Jaso had set up outside. Bill Miller rang him up, but not this time.
So runners at the corners, and Iglesias is the hitter.
Number 10, Jose Iglesias.
In the bottom of the 9th inning, it would be Moss, Reddick, and Smith. So 3 left-handed hitters. And a bunt attempt. It was a safety squeeze, which was lucky for the Red Sox.
That was safety, yeah. You can hear somebody yell, which would indicate that he's squaring, but you know, it's a safety squeeze. Sometimes that's on the hitter by himself. Third base runner doesn't know, then that's dangerous on his part because the runner from third, Bradley was just barely down the line.
And it's bunted. Moss throws home, and they got him. What a play.
What was Bradley doing? That was not, I mean, that's a suicide squeeze, but Bradley was not running like it was. And what a play by Brandon Moss. And, tell you, for John Jaso, he got a bullet thrown by Brandon Moss. This ball was thrown hard. Bradley, though, he got that. That's almost like a safety squeeze again because he was not running as soon as the throw was made. So that helped the A's be able to get the lead runner. And what a play by both Moss and Jaso. Jaso gets the hard throw and then the hard tag, and Bradley is out. So it looked like it had to be another safety squeeze because as early as Iglesias squared around, it's almost like it was going to be a suicide. But that was a great shot, the high home camera, to show that Bradley did not take off initially. As he missed the sign, almost got him, but Brandon Moss, a tremendous play, and that's a big, big out.
0-1 to Holt, and now 0-2 to Holt.
Look at the runner at third base. That is not a suicide squeeze. Suicide, as soon as the pitcher releases the ball, he's running. And watch him hesitate. He kind of chops down. But even with Iglesias turning around to bunt, Bradley made sure the ball was down before it really took off. So again, another safety squeeze, and the A's were able to get the big out.
Chopped. Lowry has it. Goes across the diamond, and Moss digs it outside, retired. So Jesse Chavez works his way out of a jam. And it's the Red Sox for the A's 2 as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Koji Uehara's coming in. Well, join us tonight on A's Post Game Live for the A-Team, a special presentation of us four broadcasters, Korak, Catronio, Fossey, and myself. We're going to get together, talk about tonight's game. It's only on A's Post Game Live and 95.7 The Game after the game. Well, let's hope we're talking about a rousing comeback by the Athletics against Koji Uehara. So here's Uehara. Very good numbers. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. You saw that 39 in the third innings, 8 walks, 55 strikeouts, and the league is hitting 163 against Koji Uehara.
So he's due.
I think you said it perfectly. But those are very fine numbers. One and one to Moss. And that pitch just dove down and away to Moss. Swing and a miss. He elevated that fastball a little bit. So that's 3 consecutive A's hitters that have struck out. 1 out here in the 9th inning.
Got to fool him with a split and then came back with a good fastball.
Number 16, Josh Reddick.
That's Jackie Bradley, who was the pinch runner. He stays in the game in left. And Nava comes in to play first base. So Napoli is out, and Reddick waves at that pitch. So it's an 80-mile-an-hour pitch, Ray, and it just kind of floats away from a left-handed hitter. And it's quickly 0-2, so Uehara working quickly, throwing strikes.
And that's the problem. He's working quickly, and he's able to do what he's doing because he does work quickly. And
Reddick 0 for 2 with a walk. A good swing there, and that was that off-speed pitch, but that one was hittable. Smith to be next. A's need a base runner or 2. Nothing else. Get 1 and get the tying run to the plate. Just a bit high. Close pitch, call the ball 2-2. That was the fastball right around 90 miles an hour. Fastball at the knees, and Reddick knew it. 2 outs.
looking split, looking something soft, got the fastball and throws it. Right down the middle. Kind of herky-jerky move by the right-hander, and it's getting the job done.
So here's Smith. Smith had a good rip, fouls it straight back. Uehara again. Lots of strikes. Smith got the first hit of the game for the Athletics. It was a leadoff double in the 5th inning. A's have just 3 hits in the game. So a little bit of a struggle offensively. Coming out of that Pittsburgh series where they scored just 4 runs in 3 games. Swing and a miss. 1-2. One-two pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and Koji Uehara strikes out the side in the 9th inning. And the Boston Red Sox take game 1 of this 3-game series by a final score of 4-2. So the A's, the Rangers, and the Angels all lose tonight in the AL West. So Lackey wins it, Uehara saves it, and Doolittle gets the loss. Red Sox 4, A's 2. There's your final. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Brody Brazil and Pip Roberts starts right now.